Well, we better get started. The frequency is not in use. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Very good. We'll get started. If you have an emergency, call 911. Otherwise, you can tell us and we'll call 911 for you. Net may be broken at any time for emergency traffic or an emergency. For information about this is K4PEW. That control for the modulated simplex radio net is let's see for information on this net, you can go to YouTube right now, K4PEW, put those letters, numbers in the search box, K4PEW, and you can bring up a visualization. It's a real visualization of the screen on my radio, so you can see what your signal looks like and what versus other people's. And you can also hear people through the web that you can't hear through your own radio if that happens. You can also go to our website, 146.415.net, 146.415.net, information on simplex and that kind of stuff. You can also go and sign up for our email reminders and other, well, I guess you'd call it a reflector. We talk about a lot of things on there, selling equipment, buying equipment, technical information. It's on groups.io, groups.io. Do a search for MJSS. There's about 200 people on there. All presumably hams. I don't know all of them, but they all got, most of them have ham, are on there with their ham call letters. Or you can send me an email, k4pew@arrl.net. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. And we've been doing that now for 7 years and 10 months or so. Almost on the money, 7 years and 10 months. It'll be 8 years in September. We'll have to have an anniversary party. And of course, we conduct the net on 146.415 FM Simplex. Tonight, we're doing the nets. There's 3 nets we're going to do tonight. It'll change up on things for those paying attention. We'll do it here on 2 meters. Then we'll do a short, I'm pretty sure it'll be short, net on 446.415 FM on UHF. See how that goes. We haven't done that in quite a while. And of course, we're going to finish off with the 10-meter net on 28.415 upper side main. And that's here to have fun, as you can hopefully you'll see that. It's trying to figure out how well your radio works and how well your antenna works. And if you can't hear stations, you'll wonder why, and you'll hopefully do things within your budget to fix them. I don't really have any announcements other than this Saturday is our breakfast, the ham Simplexton breakfast over at Golden Corral in Old Hickory. Or actually, it's in Donaldson. I don't know whether it's in Donaldson or Old Hickory. It's on the Andrew Jackson Parkway. And it's right near Lowe's, just south of Lowe's and north of, it's north of 40, about 2.5 miles, I think. Anyway, there was that. And then the following Saturday is the Ham Quest in Lebanon, the big ham fest for Wilson County, and really for one of the bigger ones in Middle Tennessee. I think it's the biggest anyway, at least that I'm aware of. If there's a bigger one, let me know. I'll go. But anyway, you make sure to be there. It's the 30th, Saturday the 30th of this month is the Ham Quest. And of course, next month is Huntsville, which I believe is also on the last Saturday, Sunday of the month. You can look that up under Huntsville Ham Quest. You'll find it easy. Does anybody have any other announcements? So wait, gotta stop. 10-meter net Sunday night. I keep forgetting to say that. Michael always reminds me. Sunday night there's a 10-meter net as well. It's at 7:30, 28.415 upper side band, and it's the mid-10 phone net. Michael KM4YRF does that net. Normally I did it last week because he was in the midst of moving from one QTH to another. At least that was his excuse. Any other announcements or corrections to announcements?
Comment.
Go ahead.
I'm hoping to have my 10-meter antenna up for Sunday night. That's yet to be determined, though.
Told you my ex-well is available, man. He only has one job.
All right, well, that's good. I may need some help.
Well, if you do, no, really, let us know. I'm sure somebody can come over and help.
Well, I have plenty of help. I was just teasing about needing help, but hopefully if we can get it up, get it tuned and ready for Sunday night.
Are you on your handheld?
Yes.
Ah, okay. That would explain that. Poor signal. So you're here in Mount Juliet, though.
Yes, I am sitting on the front porch step.
Sounds good. I can almost see you. Very good. That's Michael KM4YRF. He normally does the 10-meter net on Sunday nights. Hopefully he'll have that set up. I mean, somebody will do it if he doesn't. And if we could kick him off of that net, we wouldn't do it even if we could, because we can't. And we don't want to. All right, is there any other announcements or changes to announcements? All righty. Just remember 2 meters, then we're going to do the 70 centimeters, both on FM and then 70 centimeters. Make a note, pencil it in. 446, 415, 446, 415 FM. And then the 10-meter net on 28.415. We'll be taking people short on time first. By the way, this is net number 815. We're starting from the east, but we'll start with people short on time.
Okay, 4G tonight.
Wait a minute, I heard, I think I heard Jeff in there. There was about 3 people that checked in. Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, correct?
That's right, Tom. On HT, I'm here in Mount Juliet, on the other side of the Providence area, on Central Pike. But I'm just going to check in, so that's why I brought the HT with me, because I knew I wasn't going to be home.
Oh, awesome! You got a great signal over there over in the east of Providence. You're sounding real good there, Jeff.
There's a little Yaesu MT65, so I haven't used it that much. That's the one I talked to you that time there in the house. I was in my recliner. I talked to you on this thing there from my regular QTH, if you remember.
Oh, I do, and it's that just goes to show you though, with my elevation antenna, I can hear a lot of things.
Yeah, you're fortunate to have that, but I'll let you carry on. I don't know if I'll be around for the 70 centimeter one or not. Maybe not, but hopefully I'll be home for too much longer. So 73 WY4G.
Very good. That's Jeff. He's in Mount Juliet tonight, but he's on his HT over east of Providence. Normally he lives in Madison, and that's where his real radio system is. Anybody else short on time?
KM4YRS.
You're over there helping Jeff out?
No.
Very good. Everything else going okay on the move? You got lots of Tylenol?
Yeah, everything is good. We can't find anything. Everything's moved. We can't find anything, and it's just trying to get the antennas down and get them up here.
Yeah, I haven't moved anything, and I can't find anything.
I know all about that.
Very good. Anything else for the net, Michael?
That's all, Paul. And thank you for filling in for the 10-meter net 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, no big thing. It's all fun. It's all just fun and games. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it.
All right. Well, thank you, and I'll back to net control.
All right, that was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Again, he's over here in Mount Juliet tonight, where he's moving to from Bellshire. So we're going to have to erase Bellshire from our list here. Because if he's not there, Bellshire's got nothing. Anyway, who else is short on time? All righty, we'll start taking any first-time check-ins. If there's anybody out there who's bold enough to jump in on the first time on the net, please come now. All right, that was a rousing non-pile up. Who else? We'll start from the east. Who's from the east, James?
That's me. I'm right here at WA4ZHI. Yeah, 4SIB.
Yeah, very good. Nice try, Richard. Hold on. Are you doing okay, James?
Yeah, I'm doing this on the handheld inside the house.
Ah, you sound great inside the house. You know, today, I have to say, I'm going to make an announcement. Today was the most uncomfortable day out later this afternoon. It was not that the temperature was over 100. It was just uncomfortable.
Oh my! I had to run my car, roll the windows down, and run the air conditioner and everything because it was hot inside there.
Oh man! Well, again, I've been in worse, so don't get me wrong. I mean, anybody, if you're living in the South and you live in Nashville and you live in Middle Tennessee, this is normal weather. It's not like this is the surface of the sun, you know. But it is uncomfortable working outside.
It sure was. It was very cold. Hot here.
Oh yeah, I was out. I went out on the driveway this evening at about 5. My wife was taking off to go to work, and even at 5 o'clock, it's like you were walking into a sunny sauna. That's what it felt like, a hot, sunny sauna.
Yeah, my car felt like a sauna too. I had to roll the windows down.
Now, I described the garage last night as being inside one of those easy bake ovens because that's how warm. I just felt like I was cooking in there.
Same here.
Well, very good. Anything else for the net, James? You're on your HT, so I know nobody can hear. Well, almost nobody can hear you.
Can't think of anything. Thank you.
Very good, James. Good to have you on the net. That's James here in Mount Juliet, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. Richard, I heard you in there, but James beat you again.
Well, see, he had me at a disadvantage of sitting down there on that handheld, and I couldn't hear him at all. But anyway, hope everybody's easy for me to say. Hope everybody's staying cool, because, yeah, you're right. It was a scorcher today. I mean, all you had to do was walk out, stand still, and I felt like going out of style. But I hope we got some cooler weather coming. But anyway, I just wanted to say hello and 7:30 to everybody that can hear my voice. KI4SIB, KI4SOR. We're back out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. If you're anywhere in dealing with vehicles in this kind of weather, you don't lean over and lean on the hood of the car.
No, that would be a very bad career move.
Anyway, everything else okay for you, Richard?
Yeah, everything else is under control. I came home to a delicious supper and just sitting here chilling out.
Yeah, good dinner is always nice. And today is your Saturday. I mean, your Friday. Excuse me.
Yes, sir. It is my Friday, and I'm happy about that too.
Yeah, that's nice. And it was 3-day weekends are cool too. But you get 4-day weekends, don't you?
I do every week.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, it's good. So keep yourself kind of out of trouble.
Yeah, kinda.
Very good. That was Richard and Stephanie, KI4SOR, and that was the previous one, and KI4SIB Richard. Who else is anybody else short on time or from the east?
KF4, KFQ, very mobile.
Very mobile, Tony. Where are you mobile tonight?
I'm hurtling down Lee Victory Highway.
Okay, no, I got you in there pretty solid though.
Yay, well, you're about to lose me because I'm going to be down here at QRM City here shortly.
Very good. That was Tony. Pretty good signal to me. He's mobile down there near Smyrna. Sounds good though. I mean, outside there was some static and some crashing in there, but no big deal. And his call is KF4 KFQ. Tony in Smyrna Mobile. Who else is east?
KK5S.
Hey, Kerry, what's up?
Just another day of the week, my friend. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's another warm day outside and sunny, and I got more yard work to do yet.
Yeah, when I come home, I got out there and did the watering in the garden. It was a little bit warm out there, but at least it was some air movement. A couple nights ago, got out there and did that, and there was no air movement whatsoever.
Yeah, in fact, I went out. It wasn't today, but yesterday I went out and I cleared up some weeds and some stuff. I was out there maybe an hour. My wife came out and said, "You went outside today?" I said, "Well, something's got to be done, man."
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you have to do it whether you want to or not sometimes.
Well, I try to keep it in perspective. I mean, we've got it made. We've got air conditioning. We got a nice enclosed environment free of all kinds of things. And all I can ever picture is, and I have pictures of my great grandfather. That wasn't in the South, but it's still, he was a farmer and out there with a plow. And other pictures of him hoeing his vegetable gardens. I just think to myself how easy I've had it.
Understood. I mean, we kind of had that conversation on my house here a while back because comparing our parents and grandparents to no air conditioning when they grew up, and, cooling off was sitting on the front porch where there was, at least you had a little bit of cover over for some shade.
Well, it's interesting because it's not that they knew any different. It's not like they were sitting on the front porch hot and just trying to cool off with some iced tea or tea. I don't even know if they had iced tea. And no air conditioning because there wasn't air conditioning available, which they didn't even know it existed. The only thing they knew is they went down to their root cellar, to cool off.
Yes, or got in the pond or something like that, But times are so much different. I mean, we talk about that all the time that today's world, you can't even let the kids out to go play in the neighborhood. And, when we were kids, we
Well, we kind of survived. One of our favorite activities, if there was a house, a new house going up somewhere in our neighborhood, that was an instant playground when they're putting a new foundation in.
Oh yeah, I can understand that. You know, for us it was getting on the bikes and riding a couple miles down the road to the ballpark and seeing who showed up down there for the day to play ball.
Oh yeah, well, those were the good days. Easy. There were no worries either.
Yes, I mean the worst worry you had was if you were going to pick up enough Coke bottles to take in when you went down to the convenience store to turn them in, you know, a nickel a bottle to get you some candy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I'm. Well, the only worry you had was that uh, you were your parents weren't going to figure out what you were doing all day.
True, absolutely. All right, well, let me get out of the way here. Let you continue on with Net. Thank you for what you do. KK5S clear.
Yeah, very good. That was Carrie in Baird's Mill, Kilo 5 Sierra. Anybody else east or so, or north?
KG4CXC, Chris and Mount Juliet.
Hey, Chris. Things changed over there in your new QTH?
In what regard is that?
Well, I'm not talking about new carpeting or flooring or ham radio wise, I guess.
No, nothing brand new. Just still running that 510. But yeah, haven't changed anything. Just placed an order for something because I needed to use a gift card, but that pushes me to go ahead and order that coax I've been planning to order about.
Oh yeah, so you're going to use that for the 10 meter, 6 meter thing?
Yep, I think I need about 50 foot or so, and I'll be able to feed it.
That'll be great. I'm wondering if it'll change characteristics from what you had before, the setup you had before in the ceiling.
I think so. Unfortunately, this is not really a weatherproof antenna, so I'm going to have to stick it up in the kind of the spot above the garage, which is a bit of a den. But it'll be good elevation, and it'll basically have walls around it, so it'll operate probably about the same, if not better.
Yeah, I bet it does too. And besides, where you are is a relatively good elevation.
Yeah, it is. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it's not bad.
Yeah, very good. Nothing else for the net?
No, that's it. Good to hear, buddy. 73.
Very good. Hope to hear you on 70 centimeter.
Yep, I'll be there.
Very good. That's Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo, Chris in Gladesville / Mount Juliet something. I think it's a Mount Juliet address though, so don't let them fool you. Who else is east?
W4EBX, Idiot Gladeville.
Well, you were lucky. You had 2 HTs over in your neck of the woods. You must have heard them good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Lucky to be up on this little hill I'm on. So I hope everybody's surviving in this heat wave we're having, and hopefully the lights will stay on.
Yeah, it's funny. Jeff was over that area. Chris moved to that area. Michael's moving back to that area. Boy, you're just getting the crowd over by you.
Yeah, it's a good area.
I guess, but I'm telling you, I didn't live here before Providence, but I'm told that before Providence was there, that was pretty slim pickings over where you are.
Yeah, I built the first house on my street. It was a dead end in '96. It wasn't much out here, but I moved to Mount Juliet about 8 years before that. So it's in '88, something like that.
Oh, so, and when did they put in the new Mount Juliet Road?
Well, Mount Juliet Road's always been there.
No, I meant the new one. How they straightened it out with the intersection with 40.
Oh, you talking about the Blue Bear Parkway or something like that?
No. I'm talking about the old Mount Juliet Road went through that neighborhood there up and closer to Lebanon, and then it curved around, and I don't know where it went from there because it didn't go straight through like it does now.
You want me to show you where it went?
Yeah, well, I know about where it went. I'm just wondering when the new 4-lane went in.
Oh my goodness. The road that cut out so many curves that were in that Mount Juliet Road at one time was done in the late 60s, early 70s.
The new 4-lane, or was it a 2-lane when it went in?
No, 5 to 7 years ago.
Okay, so that road just got widened into what it is now. but the new one, the replacement instead of that residential kind of road, because it went through neighborhoods, did it not? The old one?
Well, no, actually, from the railroad track back to 70 didn't change a great deal. They widened it, of course, but as far as the path it takes, didn't change a great deal. What changed more than anything was the path between the interstate, because the interstate wasn't there at the time, and the railroad track. In other words, from the railroad track going south. I don't know. You know where the Mount Jesus Church of Christ is?
Yeah, that's where that bridge, and that's where it used to be, right? That little small bridge, I'll say.
Correct. It went off to it veered off to the right there, and like there wasn't no veer to it. It was the road, and you went up and made a hard left-hand curve. Went about I don't know, 3/4 of a mile to a mile. Went back to a hard right curve, and it straightened up and went up past what is now the funeral home and the drugstore up there on the right. That straightened it out, and it was straight until you got to Central Pike, and it stopped right there. That was all of Mount Juliet Road.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly what the story was. I knew that it made that turn there because I'd been back in that neighborhood on the bicycle, where like you said, just south of the Church of Christ, where that bridge is still there, but it's not functional as a road.
No. In fact, before they shut that off, I worked a wreck right there in that creek one year. But no, they used to could after they cut the road veer off to that bridge, but they blocked that off when they full landed.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, it's just interesting because I kind of wish they when I see a town like Mount Juliet, and I moved here after all that happened, of course. I just hate to see it, a nice little town like Mount Juliet, turn into just a big major thoroughfare, between Smyrna and here.
Yeah, I don't like seeing what's happened to it either, but I guess it was inevitable. When it incorporated in 1972, that was the beginning of what you see now, and I'm not going to pass judgment whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I just don't care for it much, but because it's not the Mount Juliet I grew up in any way, shape, form, fashion. It's just not. The roads have changed, the attitudes have changed, the buildings are not what they used to be, and a whole lot of buildings are not there that used to be, and it's a different world altogether.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I understand how that goes. There's not much to say about modernity. Modern things don't necessarily make things better for the community.
No, it doesn't. But they call it progress, and I guess that's what it is in somebody's mind.
Anyway, appreciate that input there, Richard. All right, got anything else for the net there, Mr. Eddie? We cut into your time.
No, I learned a lot from listening to Richard. I'm glad he was an old timer of Mount Juliet there.
Yeah, he was. Well, I don't know if you heard him tell you that he lived directly across from where Courtney's was. He lived in that house directly across the street from Courtney's.
What about that? Yeah, I remember there used to be a skating rink over there too. I think that was in the it wasn't in Courtney's building. It was next door.
Well, that was. Do you remember the skating rink, Richard?
I'm not Jim, but the workout center is now. That's where the skating rink was, right beside that creek.
I presume that was roller skating, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just couldn't imagine ice skating here in Mount Juliet then.
Well, there's been too many kids with broke legs. They put them on roller skates and hoping they would have less broke legs.
No, you just ended up with a lot of floor burns. That's all.
Yeah, that too. Y'all carry on. I'm gonna shut up and get out of the way. KI4SIB.
Yeah, very good. Anyway, thanks, Richard. Eddie, that was Eddie. Also, Whiskey 4. Not his last name, not also. It's Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray. That's Eddie in Gladeville. Who else is east or north?
Eddie Ford, Joanne. Danny.
Hold on. I did hear Danny G-O and in there. Whiskey Oscar 4, correct, Danny?
Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I'd hit it. I thought I remembered it correctly because I didn't hear you. All I heard was G-O-N Danny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very good. How you doing tonight, Danny?
Oh, good. Just out in that burning heat today.
Oh yeah, no, it's again, it's, I've lived in the South now for, I don't know, 40, almost 40, over 47 years. And I spent time in the Middle East on 2 different tours when I was in the military. So I know what hot is, but as I get older, it's less tolerable.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, we had, because we ended up, whenever we went to the Middle East, it was their summer, which is the same as our summer. But it sometimes, not always, it got up to about 125 at peak. And man, in fact, we didn't even work past noon. They cut off our work on the ship at noon because it was too hot to work outside. I think you'd evaporate if you stayed out there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and that hot metal.
Well, yeah, it was. No, but in retrospect, though, think about the guys that served in Iraq and Afghanistan in that kind of a climate, and they were wearing full battle gear, even if they weren't in battle. And what I'm saying is they wore the full. They weren't in short sleeves and shorts.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't have done it.
Well, it'd be pretty. Let's put it this way: there aren't any fat Marines over in the Middle East.
Yeah, no, really.
How you doing otherwise?
Oh, I'm good. I've had supper. I'm sitting here just listening. Had the radio on scan. I was ready tonight.
Yeah, very good. I hope that I see some of you guys I've never met, so I'm looking forward to meeting you guys, you particularly, since I'm talking to you at the Ham Quest in about 10 days.
Yeah, I do have a question about that because which building is it in? Because I go and I did a search and there's a gun show there.
Oh yes, the gun show's in the main building. You'll see a sign, and you can come in. It doesn't matter which entrance you come in, but the buildings are on the back of the main building, and it's impossible. It's really impossible to miss. And that's all the big part. There's a big parking lot in the back, behind the main building.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I couldn't understand it because you go and you do a search and one website said one thing, another website said another.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the gun show because that should attract a lot more people to show up there and at the Ham Quest. Yeah, somebody else comment?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Richard.
Whoever the fellow is you're talking to, when you come off of the main road out there and come up to the convention center, turn to the left, go up, make a right. In other words, go around the north end of that building, and you'll see a big parking lot directly behind that building, and then the buildings behind the building is where the Ham Quest is going to be held.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, there'll be some signs there. They're putting up some signs on the road inside the front of the building, so everybody knows where to go. But no, it'll be fun. You'll if you haven't been there before, it's a good ham. It's a good ham tailgate, and it's really good.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to gun shows and I've been to a camping show and I don't know a couple other different shows there, but it'd be the first Ham Fest.
Oh yeah, you'll like it. Anyway, anything else for the net, Danny?
No, I'm good.
Very good. That's Whiskey Delta 4 Golf. Oscar November Danny and Gallatin. That's West Gallatin. I make sure we're clear on that. We don't associate with the East Gallatin crowd. Who else? Anybody else east or north?
East Gallatin.
There's that was a perfect double. Who said East Gallatin?
Kilo Echo 4 Whiskey Echo.
Hey, how you doing? That's the other Danny. How you doing?
That's Keith.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got my calls mixed up there. Sorry about that, Keith. Yeah, we got the east side, west side, the two gangs in Gallatin. Huh?
Yeah, I think there's a hill between us because I can hardly hear it.
Is that right? How big an antenna do you have there, Keith?
I've got a Diamond 300. I need to get a taller mast. I'm only up about 16 feet, and my house is at like 500 feet.
You're doing fine to me. That you say it is. You've got the 300, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice antenna. In fact, for the money, well, again, it's a budget issue to a lot of people, but for the money, that next one up, the 510, is killer. I think it's about $200.
That's the one I'm running. It's just having a 16-foot mast and a 20-foot antenna, sort of odd.
Well, I agree. In fact, the higher you get that thing, the better you'll be. Of any antenna, I don't care which one it is, it's going to be better off. But yeah. Yeah, that's like my recommendation is always buy the best antenna you can afford because you don't want to take a whooping from the XYL, you know.
That's true. And they last. Sometimes you get what you pay for.
I found that to always be true. I can't think of an exception. And every time a silly illustration was I wanted to get into it. Forget radio for the moment. This is about 30 years ago. I was really wanted to get a 35 millimeter Nikon film camera at the time. This was in the late 80s, mid 80s. And so I didn't have the money. I really didn't have the money. And I was saving up for that. And so my wife knew that at the time, and she bought me one. Well, it was the cheapest one that Nikon made. It's a nice little camera. It wasn't an instant, it wasn't one of those cheapy ones. It wasn't like a throwaway, cheap one. It would cost about 120 bucks, I think, at the time. But it's like having a Pinto instead of having a Mercedes, if you know what I'm saying. And that's where the one is going to outlast the other, I assure you. And that's true of any of the finer antennas, whether they're made by Diamond or Cushcraft or whomever. I mean, you get what you pay for. You're right.
Oh, no doubt. Especially with cameras, that's one of those things where that cheap one. There's a whole difference between even just the next level or two up.
Oh yeah, no, that I still have that camera, the older and it's a nice little camera. But even when it's the difference between a finely engineered device made of plastic, made of real things, or one of plastic. The feel is so. It's just even the feel of it is different.
Yeah, no doubt. For something like that, it's definitely the feel is like this is what it ought to feel like.
Exactly. I don't know if I had an old Mercedes a few years ago. Well, 20 years ago, and I was 20 years old when I got it. That thing, the difference between the feel and the weight and just the structure of that Mercedes 300, it was a turbo Mercedes. That thing felt so different than any car I'd ever owned.
Yes, there's definitely something to be said for quality in vehicles.
Yeah, and everything else too. I mean, really, that 300 will serve you for a long time. It'll be there. Wouldn't be surprised we could get 20 or 30 years out of those Diamond antennas, or even the Hustlers. I mean, they just make good antennas.
Oh yeah, like I say, I just need to work, get another 10, maybe 15 feet up there, and that's maybe a big help.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sure it will be. Double that height, and you definitely get. You do the math on that calculation. You see how much better it'll be. No, but you really sound good to me, though. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, anything else for the net, Keith?
That's about it. Thanks for running the net. That's great.
Yeah, very good. That's Keith in East Gallatin. That's Kilo Echo 4 Whiskey Echo. Who else is East or North?
WB0NOO.
Yeah, he's got the great signal out there. How you doing there, Mark?
Doing well. Just kind of sitting here listening and watching Josh Gates at the same time.
Oh, cool. Which reminds me, I need to make sure I take your filter and put it in the car. You're going to go there on Saturday.
Yeah, I plan on being there.
Very good. Maybe I'll just stick it out here by the door so I can't miss it. Because I've got it sitting up here on the shelf, so it doesn't. Nobody. Well, I say nobody. It's only me or my wife or the dogs, and the dogs can't reach it.
Oh, well, you need taller dogs.
No, just big dogs. Problem with I love big dogs. Don't get me wrong. I love big dogs, but I found out that they just leave they leave much bigger piles. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Yep, we don't have a dog now. Wish we did. Have thought about it. Not sure I can chase one at my age.
Oh, even I got, as you know, I got 5 of them. So they're they're just fun. They're just fun dogs. They keep me company during the day, and they're entertaining. Even though I got to break up fights now and again.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm need to go get something to eat. Gosh, it's late. So have a great net. I'll probably see you Saturday.
Very good. Hope you can be on that 2. Are you going to be on 70 centimeters?
Maybe. I'll give it a shot.
All right, we'll be there in a few minutes. All right, we'll catch you later. That was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. He's in Northwest Wilson. Who else is north?
Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha.
Hello, Ricky. Doing okay?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good, and just if Keith and Danny's still listening, I hear both of them real good. Of course, they're not too far away, but yeah, they come, both of them come in strong up here also.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I think didn't I hear you were checking into the Bowling Green net Tuesday night, didn't you?
Oh yeah, you know, it's a funny thing. I had just checked in, and then you know, he called the next person in front of me, and then our power went out. And it went out for a good while. I guess we blew a transformer. So I ran out to the car or truck and got on my mobile and waited till he had a dead space and called him again. Of course, he said my signal was quite weak, but I was still able to make the trip, which is good. But I let him know that I had lost power in the house.
Yeah, I got you. No, that's good. I'm glad you were able to check in mobile.
Oh yeah, I mean, considering mobile, you know, it's just one of them little diamond antennas, about 18 inches tall. I can't remember what make or whatever, or you know, what kind of specs it has. But yeah, it's just a little 18-inch diamond antenna. I was able to reach up into Bowling Green for Portland, so I thought that was a pretty good trip.
Yeah, that is. He's I don't know if you knew. You probably did know. He started that net because we started the net. So I was real happy he got rolling up there in Bowling Green.
Yeah, I try to remember to check into his net, you know, support him. He does a great job, and you know how it is. We always try to support each other, and uh, and that's a good thing. That's one thing I like about ham operators. They're real supportive.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good. I mean, let's put it this way. I can't think of an exception to the rule that they're very helpful and they're agreeable to a lot of most things. I mean, yeah, there's always going to be a disagreement about something somewhere along the line, but you know what I'm saying. You're right. It's a good bunch of people in ham radio.
Yep, I agree. But anyway, I'm not going to hold you up because hey, by the way, what's that frequency on 70 meters?
On 70 centimeters, it's 446.415. 446.415.
Okay, okay, Roger that. I'm gonna try to hang around and get on that with you if I can reach you. But no, I'm good here, and 73s to everybody out there listening in. I'm just going to turn it back over to you, Paul. This is K4BWA.
Very good. That's Ricky in Portland. He does the net on Thursday nights from Portland. It's a Simplex net on 147.555, and it's at 8 p.m. every Thursday. Don't miss it. That's Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha. Who else is north or west?
Whiskey 4, India Foxtrot. A Kilo Delta.
I heard a Kilo Delta station. Hold on one second, but I think I heard Whiskey 4 India Foxtrot.
Yes, Carl in East Nashville.
Hey, Carl. Yeah, that call always throws me a curve. That's a vanity call, I take it, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a really long call and I got interested in CW, so I submitted about 50 applications for a shorter call sign and ended up with that one.
Yeah, that's funny. You really submitted a few dozen, huh?
Yeah, it got to be a thing. I'd check every day to see what was coming open, and about 30 people would apply, you know, on a call sign that became available, and they'd choose one at random. I figured eventually I'd get lucky, which I did.
No, that's great. That's great to get a 1x2 like that. It's no, it's a memorable call actually. The Whiskey 4 India Foxtrot. I mean, I can't. Of course, with that's a good one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And how do you do on how well do you do on CW?
Well, I like it. I'm not real super active, but I've enjoyed just the challenge of learning it and becoming more proficient, doing a few little, you know, contests and QSO parties and things like that.
Yeah, very good. I've never been able to get that fine tuned, and I keep telling myself I'm going to do it, and I haven't. So I got to kick my own butt for that. But everything else going well for you there in East Nashville?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether to get a better antenna or buy a Husqvarna auto mow device to mow my lawn.
Auto mow. Is that some kind of an automated mower? Automated mower?
Right. It's kind of like a Roomba, except that instead of vacuuming the floor, it mows your lawn and runs around at random and goes and recharges itself when it runs low on battery power. It's completely electric and automatic, and apparently everyone in Scandinavia wants one or has one. My son was visiting from Denmark and told me about it, but they're available in the U.S. They're on Amazon and everything. Husqvarna Automo.
How do they know its range? I mean, do you have to put a wire in the ground or anything?
Right, you put a perimeter wire, and then it's also got a radio locator so that when it runs low, it can, if it's within sight of the recharging station, it'll just run across the yard toward, and dock itself. You also put a guide wire if it's, around in the backyard or something. You can find the guide wire and get back to the docking station that way. So there's like 3 ways for it to find itself. And it's got devices in there to keep it from being stolen and things like that as well.
Oh, that's fun. I think I just sit out on the front porch and watch it.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's a hard decision, but the better antenna is another temptation. I can't hear very many people on the other side of the conversation aside from your station, so I think I need some better ears.
Well, I'm going to guess that I've got a Husqvarna 46-inch mower for my property here, and I love it. But that self-mowing one's got to be. Let me take a guess. $2,500.
Yeah, they come in different sizes, and I guess with batteries and whatnot. So they range. There's several models depending on the size of your yard. So I think they start around 1,500 for the smallest size and go up from there. That doesn't include the installation kit with the perimeter wire and all that. It's another couple $100.
Yeah, that's interesting. You have to put in a wire like the electronic leash for dogs.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to that. When it crosses the wire, just backs up and starts off in a different direction. And as I said, I think it kind of goes randomly across the yard. So it eventually, after a few days, it gets everything kind of mowed down and keeps it that way. It runs. You can run it all night. It's very quiet. Apparently, it works in the rain. So, kind of an interesting thing. I'm thinking about it, but I'm also thinking about the antenna as well. So, got a decision to make.
I hear you. I think you would learn to avoid my 5 trees.
Yeah, if it hits like a tree trunk, it will back up and go off in a different direction. Or you can you can make an island in your yard if you have a clump of shrubbery or something like that. You can create a zone around that clump that it will avoid.
It almost. I'm not sure. I'm not sure my wife would let me be that lazy. It just sounds like a dream to just put out hey, start her up. And I'll see you later.
Yeah, it's quite intriguing. Anyway, that's what's on my plate this week. W4IM.
Yeah, keep us posted on that yard thing. I'd love to see that. I've heard of them. I've just never seen one. That's cool. Anyway, that's Carl, Whiskey 4 India excuse me, Whiskey 4 India Foxtrot. He's in East Nashville, looking to buy an automated lawnmower. That's kind of cute. Who was the Kilo Delta station?
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Kilo Delta.
Oh, very good. That's all I called was the Kilo Delta. How you doing tonight? Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Kilo Delta.
I'm hot, Paul. This is Doug up in Greenbrier. It's been a rather warm and moist today. I've been working with my brother-in-law, helping him mount a new engine on his boat, an outboard motor, and it's been tough, even up in the shop with no sun shining on it. It's been an oven up there.
Oh yeah, no, it's a scorcher out there this week. My my wife asked me, when's it going to rain again?
Well, we've actually had a good bit of rain over the last week and a half, and in fact, I've had to mow the yard on Monday. It's really gotten up tall, and everything looking green again. Of course, you never know how long that's going to last, but don't need rain, but I sure would take some cooler temperatures.
Yeah, well, it's the same old thing. You got to take the good with the bad because there's an awful lot of nice weather when it's not this hot.
Well, I heard the conversation about the auto mower. They do actually make one. Fellow I used to work with, he has one. It's like a robot style, and it just mows every day. It mows all the time. When it gets low, it backs itself into the charging dock and charges itself and goes again.
I think it would drive my moles crazy.
It might drive somebody's dog straight crazy, but that thing is out there. But I'm trying to rack my brain and come up with a way we can capture some of this heat and store it for January and February.
Well, let me know if that works out. Long-term heat storage. That'd be well, it'll be at least as expensive as long-term electricity storage. They're trying to figure out.
Well, decades ago, people used to cut ice off the lake and store that down in ice houses, down in the ground and insulated with straw. They'd have ice all year long. So I don't know. Somebody smarter than me should be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had when we'd go camping in the Adirondack Mountains up in northern New York State. We went to a place. It was a little store. It was out in the middle of nowhere, and they were on a lake, a very fairly large lake, and they cut ice out. And I don't know if they did it that way here or in some of the other places, but that one, the ice was stored down there, and they covered it with sawdust. Each layer of ice they put in the ground, they covered with sawdust and more sawdust and more. So whenever you got ice, it always had sawdust on it.
Yeah, people pretty smart. They figured that one out. But I'm anxious to see how we can stockpile this heat. But anyway, I'm going in the house and get something cool to drink and probably fall asleep in the reclining chair. So I'll say good evening to all, and thanks again, Paul, for running the net. Kilo Point KD.
Yeah, very good. It was Doug in Greenbrier, Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Kilo Delta. I quickly store it. They did it the opposite way. This is about 30 years ago, a shop, I believe it was a bakery. I believe it was in New Jersey, but it might have been farther north. And they put up a system where they pumped water out of a lake and back into the lake. They took it out of the bottom of the lake and back it was a pond, a very fairly large pond, and in the winter only. And they continuously pumped water out of the bottom of the pond and made snow and ice into the top of the pond. And eventually, if it was a hard winter, the entire pond would be ice and snow. I mean, a very deep, icy crust on the pond. And so almost the entire pond was ice, almost up from the bottom up to the top. And then all through the summer, they pumped water out of the bottom of the pond to put through coils and chill the bakery, which that was ingenious. I don't know how long it lasted or how long it took, but I just thought that was ingenious. That they were thermal, storage for ice. It would last well into June and July and August. Anyway, similar, but just the opposite of what you were talking about. I wish we had a way to do that with you're right, with the heat, save it. Anyway, who else is north or west?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
Hey, Jack, how are you doing tonight?
Man, I'm staying in and cooling off.
Yeah, well, we're just a bunch of wusses,
Well, I'm an old wuss, and I want to keep it that way. And yeah, I didn't get out till like 6 o'clock tonight. I had to run an errand.
Yeah, no, it's just it's funny how I was working out in the garage, and I realized it's a bad idea, me doing heavy exercising in the garage. Because I actually stopped and I said, man, if I keep doing this much longer, I'm going to pass. I really was getting, let's put it this way, I was at the point where I shouldn't be doing it anymore. And I said, man, need to do this in the morning or something.
Yeah, do your sit-ups in the den or something. Yeah, this is just too hot, even in the garage.
Oh no, the garage is horrible. It really is. I mean, I have a fan on there, but there's no circulation aside from the simple one door, and it's still hotter as hot outside as it is inside at 5 o'clock. So in the garage anyway.
Oh, I remember those days growing up before air conditioners, and you just lay in the bed and sweat, and hot air would be blowing around.
And you didn't know any better either.
Well, didn't
Well, we had the opposite in, where I grew up in the north. When we went to grade school, there was no air conditioning at all. And now we didn't have hot like like Tennessee did, but it was hot in up through June, and again in September when we went back to school. It would still be pretty warm, but it wasn't unbearable in the school. They just opened the windows and we lived with it. But it was in the winter. There were occasions where the boiler in our old elementary school wouldn't function. We'd be sitting at our desks with heavy coats and gloves on.
That's miserable. I know. Anyway, thanks for doing the net, Paul. I'm looking forward to the 70-centimeter net, and I'm looking forward to the breakfast Saturday morning.
Oh yeah, look forward to seeing you, Jack. All right, very good. That's Jack and Donaldson, Kilo Bill 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is west or north?
Go uphill both ways.
All righty. I think I heard David. Was that you, David?
Yes, it was.
Ah, very good. That's man, your call escapes me for the moment here. Wait a minute, don't let me get too far here. TAW, that's what it is. And the first part is it's N5 TAW, right?
You're on the ball.
Well, I have to think about it. I got too many calls to remember, I think. And I don't cheat. I have to sit here and the only cheat sheet I have is my brain, and that ain't working too good.
Yep, I understand that completely. You say there's a 70-centimeter net tonight?
Yeah, we're going to do that right after the 2-meter net.
Oh, okay, cool. I never get to talk on 440. I used to like talking on it a lot, but it just doesn't happen much anymore.
We do a 220 net, but nobody'd hear each other.
I would.
You might. I only have 5 watts on 220.
Yeah, I'd probably still hear you.
No, I probably would too. You're right. I'm assuming that. Well, this antenna isn't made for 220 though, so I'd actually have to put in a different antenna. I don't have one other than the one on the HT.
Yeah, nice thing about 220 is it's kind of the best of both worlds with 2-meter and 440, so it works pretty good.
Yeah, now I got to put up a two. I should see. That's the problem is I keep telling myself I should put up a 220 antenna, but there's very few people to talk to, and I don't want to get online with those stinking repeaters.
Yeah, it's not as busy as it used to be. I think there might be 1 or 2 other 220 repeaters around town. I'm not positive. Used to be, but just not many people on the main ones anymore.
Yeah, I hear you. Anything else for the net, David?
Not a thing. Just waiting for winter. Waiting 102, which is what I was seeing today. Just too hot. I can always put on a coat when it's cold. Catch you later at 5 TA.
Yeah, it's like I used to say in Florida because I worked outside quite a bit. I'd say, you know what I love about summer? And it was what? Like what are you crazy? Yes, fall is next, man.
That's right.
Anyway, that's David in Madison. November 5, Tango Alpha Whiskey. Who else was West?
Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Antioch.
Hey, very good, Greg. Everything going well with you?
Doing good. I'm getting a 50-watt 220 coming in. Supposed to come today, so I guess I'll see it tomorrow.
50-watt 220. Oh, that's that tri-band you got.
Yeah, tri-band with DMR. That should be here, as well as I got a little 6-meter dipole, and most of us are what, horizontal?
On 220?
No, I'm sorry. I was talking about 6-meter.
Oh yes. Well, I did. I'm on horizontal, but I'm sure there's somebody with 6-meter vertical. Yeah, you know what? Now that you mentioned, that's that TYT you're getting, right, with the 50-watt 220 and 70-centimeter and 2-meter, right?
Yeah, it's any tone, but yeah, that's gonna be
I don't think I've ever seen a tri-band or a dual band that's 220 and 50 watts.
Yeah, we'll see. It says 55 watts. We'll see here, which will triple my power on DMR. It'll be a good experiment to see whether that is the deal. We just all need more power.
Well, I'm going to have to put up a 220 antenna. That's all there is to it. So we can maybe do a little net on that once in a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, we need to do that. It's probably more successful than the digital. I think the only thing I have right now is a disc cone for 220, but I'm already looking into it. I'll find something.
Well, I lie. I do have a discone, but That's got as much gain as my shoes, you know.
Yeah, I just assembled mine. It was useless. So yeah, but yeah, it sounds good. I'll find something for 220. Other than that, this is 53rd anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing.
Oh, is it really? That's right. I did tell you where I was when that moon landing took place, didn't I?
No, I was about to say, I bet we all remember.
Yeah, I was in the middle of the Indian Ocean in the Navy, and they made the announcement over the PA system on the ship.
Yeah, I was 8 years old, and Dad got me and my older brother up after we'd already gone to bed, and he said, "Yep, y'all got to see this."
Well, we didn't see squat, man. We were out in the middle of nowhere.
Anyway, yeah, I was a space baby.
Yeah. Well, I can. I think I watched through 1969 every single televised launch out of NASA. You know, out of Cape Canaveral when they first started. Every single launch that ever took place, I watched. Because my dad, I think I told you, he worked for NASA. He worked for a NASA contractor who built rocket engines, and they built rocket engines for the Apollo program. So it was just a general interest for me because my dad worked on those projects.
Yeah, you mean live?
Yeah, that's right, live on television. That's great. Everyone that was live, I watched. Yes.
Oh, did you see any in person?
The only one I saw in person was I went to a shuttle launch over at Cape Kennedy around 19. I can't remember when it was exactly. It was around 90 or middle 90s, 93, 94.
That'd be impressive, but probably not quite like a Saturn V.
No, it was impressive anyway. It just was. I was going to tell you something else. Uh, well, I watched the first shuttle launch, but I wasn't at Cape Kennedy. I was over in Apopka, Florida, and we were camping. We were there for a soccer event in that area, and it was we had I think I stayed in a I might have stayed in my VW bus. I don't remember, but um, when the launch went up, it was a night launch, if you remember, and that was in '81, and I had a TV with me, a portable TV, so I was watching it there because I couldn't see directly through the forest, and I watched the shuttle come up over the trees because I guess I was probably about 34, 40 miles west of Cape Canaveral.
Very cool.
Oh, it lit up the sky. I'll tell you, it was beautiful, and it's really. I don't want to say it was. I guess you could call it patriotic. You get a proudness about the nation's activities like that, and it makes you feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did want to mention that I mowed my lawn today.
Hey, more. I would have done it too. The weather doesn't. This kind of weather doesn't stop me from mowing the lawn, but I usually wait until about 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock to do it.
Well, a breeze started up, and I decided that was a sign.
Yeah, very good. Anything else for the net there, Greg?
No, see you on the next one. KD4 TV.
Very good. You guys heard it here first. We might do a 220 net, so everybody go and buy a 220 radio and a 220 antenna, a new feed line, and get a divorce. No, don't do that. Don't go down that road. I've been there twice already. Who else is? That was Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo Greg and Antioch. Who else is Wes?
KC14Q Charles.
Hey Charles, hold on one second. There was another station that sounded weak. Who was that other station?
K4GSA. It's Mike in Parksville.
Hey, very good. You weren't so much weak. You guys kind of doubled, so I couldn't hear you too well. How you doing? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back in the radio a little bit. I've kind of been working in the radio. I'll check in tonight. How's everything going?
It's going swimmingly, as they say. No, we're swimming. My own sweat is what's happening.
Hey, if you're serious about that 220 thing, I'd love to build a 220 antenna this winter and throw it up in the attic and see if I can get you from your direction. See what you do. If you're serious about this, something to play.
Oh, I'm always serious. It depends on if I could get it all together to do that. Like I said, I only have 5 watts on 220. I've already, I might even, if I was really serious, I'll go out and buy a 220 radio. How's that? A 220 single band radio.
Yeah, well, I don't have a 220 radio either, but I can get to one of the cheaper ones and just throw 30 or 40 or 50 watts up. Okay.
Well, the best part about 220 is, in your case, it's a smaller antenna for your attic. Yeah, very good. Anything else for that? Nice, good to hear from you though up there. I haven't heard from you in a while. You doing okay? Yeah, you were fading a little bit on that last transmission, but I caught most of it. Yeah, it's up and down how things are. It's just like a rolling thunder there on your signal. But I did get you in there. Very good, Mike, and I'm glad you're in there. And this is that was Kilo Ford Golf Sierra Alpha, and he is in or kind of near what you call it, Clarksville, which is a good stretch from here. He's got a nice quad antenna up in the attic because he can't put one outside because of restrictions. And it's the deed restrictions, those dreaded deed. Good to have you in there, Michael. Anything else for the net, by the way?
No, that's all I got. Have a great night.
Very good. Have a good one. Who else is Wes?
Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra India Bravo, John.
Hey, John. How are you doing? I was struggling with writing down your stuff there. I couldn't remember what you said. It's Kilo Oscar for, is it India Sierra Bravo?
Sierra India Bravo.
Oh, there you go. There with my dyslexic ears again. You doing okay?
I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. I've been retired now for how long? About 12 years, and there's always something that I want to do, and sometimes I do them, and I've always got something going on with 5 dogs in a household to take care of, so it's all good.
That's good to hear.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. How about yourself?
Doing good. Trying to find a place to stay nice and cool.
Yeah, it's certainly a relief to come in. I was going back to that story when I was in the Middle East when I lived on the ship, we'd be in port. Like I said, that's when it got really hot in the Persian Gulf, and you'd be inside, and the temperature inside the ship it wasn't like it was super cool, but let's just say it was 78 or something inside. You'd open up the hatch to go out on the deck, and you're going from 78 to 120 or 125. It was horrible.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was in UAE for a period of time, and it'd be 130 during the day, and then then along the coast, about the time the sun went down, you get 100% humidity.
And where were you stationed there? John, where were you stationed there, did you say?
In Dubai, during, let's see, when was it? I think it was 2003. We were at a base. They set up a base there.
Oh wow, yeah. We never went to Dubai, but you knew where Bahrain was.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we were. We were in Bahrain, and then we were also in Bandar Abbas there in Iran when we still had relations with Iran, and that was it in the Persian Gulf. I think it was Bandar Abbas and Bahrain. I don't think we went anywhere else. And then over on the other side, we went over to Ethiopia and I forgot the name of the other place. Tip my tongue. Right there on the Horn of Africa. There's always the military. We have a base there now too. You may have been there.
I hadn't been there.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a base over there. Yeah. When you were in that base in Dubai? Did you have to? Were you constantly in full uniform?
Yes. But, basically, that or our PT gear was about all we could wear when we were there on base.
No, I was just wondering because I know that a lot of the guys that were in the field in like in Iraq or in Afghanistan, they were always dressed in regular full gear, and I thought, man, that'd be unbearable.
Yeah, it got a little rough in the evening working on the flight line.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I think my feet would melt.
Yeah, there were a lot of nights that when I finally got my boots off, the entire bottom portion of the boots was wet.
Man, yeah, that's why, and I don't make light of the heat here in Tennessee. I mean, it's hot. It's uncomfortable and it's hot. But unless, and I know you have experienced that Middle East, the temperatures up like you said, upwards of 130. It is unbearable to be outside on either a flight line or on or any other concrete surface, or in my case, we were on a ship and we were on a steel surface they were painted black and a dark gray. The deck temperatures got up in the 140, 150 degrees. It wasn't pretty.
No, but when you have to remember to put gloves on before you grab something that's metal, you don't end up burning yourself.
Yeah, I've told this story here before, but I put out a bucket of water to swab the deck, and the water temperature coming out of the tap on our ship was about 96, 98 degrees. And I had to leave it out for a while. It was sitting on deck with a mop, so we call it a swab in it. And I went away they asked me, I had to go do something else for 20 or 30 minutes. Came back to that bucket, and I went to wring out the mop. I could not, and you had to wring it out with your hands. We didn't have mop wringers. You had to wring out the mop with your hands. I could not wring out the mop with my hand because the water was scalding hot. And so I just, I put it down on the deck with my foot on it and twisted the handle. That's the way I wrung out the mop.
Yeah, I know when I would get off about midnight and go take a shower, and the cold water that had been sitting in the holding tank all day was hotter than the water coming out of the hot water heater.
Well, you're making me laugh because I know what you're talking about. There's no such thing as cold water.
That's right.
Oh, that's funny. Anything else for the net, John? I appreciate your service over there because I know how bad it was.
Thank you. No, I have nothing more for the net.
Very good. That's John. Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra India Bravo. John, where are you? I forget.
I'm about 2 miles west of you, North New Hope and Cobblestone Landing.
Okay, very good. So you're still in. Does that qualify as Davidson County?
The side of the street I'm on is Wilson County.
Oh, you're very lucky then. That's great. John's in the east, the west, the farthest west side of Wilson County, butting up against Davidson County. Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra India Bravo. Who else is west?
KC4TNQ.
How are you tonight? KC4TNQ. What's up?
Good evening, Paul, and everyone on the net. Doing well. Not got into too much today. Too hot there. Over.
Yeah, no, it's all I can remember about when I get into this kind of weather, I just remember that I used to work in this kind of weather out on construction, but when I was in my mid-20s, and I couldn't do it now. They'd fire me.
Yeah, Roger. Back in my earlier days, I did work a survey for the state of Tennessee, so I know them hot days, but we did work for the state, and if it was too hot, we find a shade tree, right?
Well, that's interesting. So you worked surveys, you were out in the sun all the time.
Well, not always. A lot of the surveys that we did, we were doing location surveys. You would be doing like a intersection or somewhere where a bridge was, so you'd have shade somewhere.
Okay, very good. Again, being outside a lot though too. I mean, I was I've worked, or let me put it this way: I've seen a lot of survey crews, and I feel bad for them because a lot of times they're just standing out there, just writing down numbers and eyeballing stuff, and it looks pretty tedious to me.
Well, like I say, remember I work for the state, so we didn't work too hard.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. It's still, well, I'm not going to say that you didn't work too hard because I don't really know, but it still worked.
Well, I was pretty lucky, and I left the job, and I made a mistake years ago, but I couldn't go do it again. I'm just not able to do it anymore.
No, I hear you. Very good. Are you doing all right otherwise?
Oh yeah, things are fine, and I'll try to get you on the 446-415 here in just a few minutes. Over.
Yep, sounds good. And that is Charles, and he is in Nashville. That's Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec. Who else is west or anywhere? West or south or north or east?
W8TLA.
Hello, Philip.
How's it going, Paul? You doing okay?
Doing great. I'm just glad it's cooling off. I mean, I think it got below 90 already.
Yeah, I mowed my lawn yesterday and then went over and mowed my parents' lawn today, and they've got a steep bank in front of their house, and I have to push mow it, and I had planned on doing some weed eating and spraying and all that, but the push mowing the bank just about did me in. After I did that, I was basically done.
You need one of those self-powered push motors.
Yeah, I definitely do. I can feel my 42 years of age creeping up on me. I just can't go like I used to.
Well, I'm getting to the age where it's work turning the ignition on my riding mower.
Yeah, well, might have to do something about that if, if I get to that point.
No, it's all right. No, I try to stay active, as you can probably tell. If you've met me, I'm not a slug yet, but I'm working on it. No, it's no any kind of work. Really, it's so funny how I've learned as I got older. I can't tolerate the heat as well. I can't do as much work outside.
Well, the last several years, when I say several, probably 5 to 7 years, get out there and get to working in that heat, and I don't know if I'm not used to it, if I'm out of shape, what the deal is, but I get to a point, my fingers start tingling, and whenever that happens, I'm just about borderline ready to pass out. So I felt that coming on today, and I headed for the garage with the lawnmower and sat down before I got to that point.
Wow. Just try to imagine. So you've lived in Tennessee your whole life, right?
I have, and I do not like our weather one bit. We've got humid heat here, and I've been out to Las Vegas, a couple of times out there when it was 95, 97 degrees. Totally different, completely different.
Oh yeah, very dry. No, the reason I was asking about that is I never lived in the South. Well, I have lived in the South a long time, but most of it was in Florida and then here. What I was going to say is, just try to imagine people working in those tobacco or cotton fields in Tennessee when there's no relief. Even when you quit working, it was still hot.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's probably part to do with being out of shape, but you know, those farmers they got up, when the sun came up and the roosters crowed, and they were out there doing something in long sleeve shirts and overalls.
Yeah, and it's funny is that I've not yet met a farmer, and I had a lot of farmers in my family that didn't love what they did.
Oh yeah, but like you said, they get most of their work done probably before 10 o'clock.
That's true. Anyway, anything else with the net film?
And now that's about it. MP3 is everybody. Thanks for doing the net, and we'll catch you over here on 446 415 W8PLA back net.
Very good. That's Philip over in Lebanon, Whiskey 8, Papa Lima Alpha. Anybody else? Anyplace, anyone?
Kilo Echo 4, Yankee Victor, Tango.
William, I heard a tango station, but I got what you called it in there first. Larry, you doing okay? You got a little rough. Come back to me because you were sounding like a little weaker than normal.
Okay. Yeah, it's me, man. I just want to get in right quick. Get out.
No, all right, no, you sound good. It's just a little low. It must be conditions because your signal is just a little bit scratchier than, well, it's a little scratchy and you're normally not scratchy at all. But anyway, that's Larry. He's in Rockville. Good signal though. Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor. I heard that it was a tango station, but I didn't catch who it was.
Oh, this is Hayes, November 8th, November Hotel Tango in Hendersonville.
Ah, very good, Hayes. Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was because I just got just a corner of what you said. Everything going well up there?
Yeah, pretty good. Got back not too long ago from a fishing trip in Ontario. Just caught a ton of fish and all that stuff. But kind of getting back to reality here.
Where'd you go in Ontario?
I went to the Trent River system near Camelford, Ontario, and fishing was real good there. I mean, it's none of us sitting around all day waiting for a fish. They're biting quite a bit of time if you want at the right time. You had to get up early, in the morning, but we were able to feed the family, and every night there was plenty of fish to eat.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, Canada's got a lot of outdoors up there, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do. Not too many people want to survive a winter there. I think that's kind of why.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, I don't know. I grew up a little south of that, obviously, than where you were, but it still was right there on the Canadian border. How long did you spend up there?
We spent about 5 or 6 days up there, and my brother brought his boat, and we used to do this when we were kids a lot. I lived in Ohio back then, and we'd go to. My dad would take us up on a fishing trip every year, and all you focus on is fishing, and it's not only for the weather, and it's kind of a spiritual journey in some ways because you focus on one thing. All that matters
versus how many fish you catch that day. And that kind of has a way of making a person forget about things that bother them.
Well, no, being out, even if you don't catch much, it's great. It is like a spiritual thing. If you're sitting out in the middle of nowhere on a lake or a river, and it's just that's a peaceful thing all by itself.
Yeah, that too, I suppose. This is November 8th, November Hotel Tango. I'll turn it back over.
See, those fish are a lot smarter than me. That's the problem.
Well, their brains are really, really small. So that's kind of saying something.
Yeah, I know. Hey, oh, by the way, quick question: did you have any trouble? Did you just had to show full vaccination to get across the border?
Well, that's funny you asked that. I didn't have my vaccination card. I was vaccinated, and I was able to show them an email that said, the only thing the email said is to come back for your second vaccination, and a second email that said something like, give us a survey on how you liked your vaccination. They accepted that as proof of vaccination.
Oh, wow, that's funny. They accepted secondhand information. That's really funny.
Well, I think those emails coming from an official source of Moderna vaccination probably were actually more legit than some vaccination card, which you probably could have forged or something.
Oh, I agree. Quickly said, when I went for my second vaccination at the VA, I forgot my card. And I said, oh man, I don't have my card with me. And they go, she took a piece of yellow Post-it note. She wrote down the serial number of the shot and the date. And she says, just go home and fill it in yourself.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I think that maybe the security quite isn't there. It's maybe a bit of an illusion. And I don't think it wasn't, the border security was not that strict. I was able to get across with the kids and everybody, and we did just fine there. It wasn't too bad at all.
Yeah, that sounds great, Hayes. I'm glad you had a great time. That was Hayes. He just got back from a fishing trip in Canada, and it sounded like a lot of fun. November 8th, November Hotel Tango, and that's Hayes. He is in Hendersonville. Is anybody else out there?
WB4D in Smyrna.
Hold on, Ken. There was another weaker station out there. Well, who was that other station?
Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Echo Tango.
Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Echo Tango. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I tried to get in earlier with all the other Glazillions over here, and a little pileup kind of missed me coming around the compass.
Okay, no problem. Well, we don't have any real rules about that. We do that for the convenience and some orderliness to it, but you're welcome to pop in anytime.
I'll do so next time. Looking forward to trying out 70 meters a little bit later. I don't think I've done that yet.
Ah, very good. Yeah, we like to jump in there. It's not the greatest way because we usually end up with a little less because not everybody's got 70 centimeters, and 70 centimeters doesn't get the distance usually that 2 meters gets.
Well, I'm on an HT, so I'm probably out of luck.
Well, you're relatively close to me, so I should be able to hear you just fine.
I'll give it a try. Thanks.
Very good. That's Chris, and he is here in Mount Juliet. Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Echo Tango. Ken, I heard you in there. How's it going?
Oh, I worked in the garage all day today, and been trying to put enough water back in me that I sweated out. But everything's going good. Thank you for doing the net. I'll say 73 to everybody, and then see you up on 446, 415.
Very good. That was Ken, Whiskey Victor 4 Delta. He's in Smyrna. Anybody else before we move on?
Okay, 4XG.
Hey, very good, Stan. Everything okay? You ready for 70 centimeters?
You probably won't be able to hear me on 70 centimeters.
Okay, you don't have an antenna for that, I take it?
I do, but it seems like the HP doesn't want to put on one power of 70 centimeters for some reason.
No, HD is not going to do too well. It's better than nothing, but that's the reason we do it, though. Some people do have the, a large, like I do, with the largest antenna for 70 centimeters, but it's just not a great mode for distance, as you know.
Let's not call up. I'll hook you up back to net, K4HG.
Very good. That's Stan. He's in Lebanon. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Just have an HT on 70 centimeters, but we'll give it a try. Anybody else out there?
Don, Smyrna.
Okay, wait a minute. I heard a Smyrna station first, but I don't know who it was.
Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Zulu Sierra.
All right, hold on. There was another double in there, but I did get Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Zulu Sierra. Who is this?
This is Don in Smyrna.
Hey, very good, Don. Yeah, your signal's a little low to me, but it's a full copy. You know, I've got a good copy on. Hold on, let me. Okay, go ahead. What did anything for that? Have you checked in before, or am I just forgetting you?
It's been a while.
Okay, very good, very good. I thought it sounded somewhat familiar, but I wasn't sure because we've been only doing this for almost 8 years. It's hard for me to remember everybody.
I understand that. Yeah, my antenna is inside my in my attic there, so it's making it a little difficult to get out here in Smyrna.
Oh yes, yes, I do remember you telling me that. Yeah, attic antennas. I've had an attic antenna. Still have one up there, but no, I don't. It's a backup antenna, and it's no good for simplex. That's I mean, long range simplex is not very good.
I understand that.
Well, very good. Anything else for the net, Don?
That's it.
Very good. That's Don in Smyrna. Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Zulu Sierra, and I do have that call right, Don?
That's right.
Very good. Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Zulu Sierra. I heard a Kilo Quebec station that was there, and it's the only part I heard.
Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Oscar Juliet.
Ah, very good. Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Oscar Juliet. Everybody's stretching my memory here. Who is this?
This is Alajan.
Oh, yes. Yes. How you doing, Alajan?
Trying to be okay. I had a terrific week, but today everything has been going wrong. Starting with the fact that I managed to get a cold in a tropical island.
Oh my gosh. I've seen that happen before. I don't know how we manage it to get a cold virus in the middle of the tropics.
Yeah, I was in San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was pretty fun, but yeah, speaking of the heat, my apartment complex hasn't fixed my AC for the last, I think, 18 days now. So I'm starting to get a little anxious.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, with no air conditioning in an apartment would really stink.
Yep, but yeah, I just wanted to check in. It was nice to hear from everybody I could hear due to my range. But have fun with the 70 centimeter net as well.
Yeah, very good. Let me make sure I got your call right. I think I have it right. It's Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Oscar Juliet, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, very good. Just want to make sure. I hate to write things down wrong. Everything else going well for you, though? Besides the no air conditioning, which would be terrible in this climate.
Overall, yeah. And for whatever reason, my mail hasn't been delivered properly for the last 2 weeks. But I guess it's one of those things I need to follow up with. Just more and more stuff. Adulting, isn't as fun as I anticipated 10 years ago.
Which mail aren't you getting?
Just regular USPS. For one full week, they didn't deliver any mail, and for this week, they're delivering part of it, but some important documentation involving ID information is missing, which is getting me nervous. So I'm following up with the USPS.
Oh yeah, stay on top of them though. The postmaster for your, let's see, I don't know what. Anyway, I would obviously just go right through whoever you're supposed to go through, and I don't know who that would be. My wife works for the postal service, but I don't know who's in charge of what.
Yeah, I went up to USPIS because I'm worrying that there might be a theft element into it. So I think this is beyond the local post office at the moment. I think I hope they will follow up.
Well, from what I'm told, the postal inspectors stay on top of things pretty good.
Yep, we'll figure out.
A little point, I don't know if you knew this. In fact, I didn't know it until I don't remember when. I did some work for the Postal Service some years ago. But whenever there is a crime associated that is with the mail, it doesn't have to be just a mail issue, like like somebody sending illegal things or like drugs or explosives. Not just if there's a murder involved in a mail issue. In other words, if the mail's involved, the postal inspectors are the lead law enforcement over whatever happens because it's a mail issue.
anyway, gut feeling is that, I mean, I don't want to blame anyone, but I think for 1 week, the person in this area did not deliver because she didn't want to, because there was absolutely no reason, like no dogs, no access issues or anything. But I don't know why. For last week, only part of the mail is coming in, the other part is not coming.
Yeah, that's wild. Well, I hope you get it figured out.
Thank you so much.
Very good. That's Aladon, and he's in Nashville, Kilo, Quebec 4, Alpha, Oscar, Juliet. Good to have you on the air again. Anybody else before we move on? All right, we're moving over to 70 centimeters, unless somebody jumps in and tells me. All righty, we're moving over to 446, 415, K4P. Then. All right, didn't take me long to get over there. This is Kilo 4 Pop Echo Whiskey with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 70 centimeters. Looking for check-ins from the east. Please come now.
KG4CXE, Chris and Mount Juliet.
Yeah, your signal's too darn good there, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. You sound great too. What am I reading on your meter there?
Hey, Stan, I hear you just fine. Hang on 1 second. Chris, say it again because my actual camera blocks my view here.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I was just checking my signal strength. 1, 2.
Yeah, you're doing like S8 here.
Yeah, you're about the same. That's awesome, man.
Hey, Stan, I do have you in there. You sound just fine. It's a little low, but I still read you perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Stan. Now I say you know the HT gets over to me. That's great. That was Stan in Lebanon, Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is east?
Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo Kilo India 4 Sierra Oscar Romeo.
Very good. We got SIBs and the SORs. It could be SOBs and SIRs. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo and Kilo India 4 Sierra Oscar Romeo from Lebanon on 70 centimeters. It's Richard and Stephanie. You sound good, Richard.
I'm just trying to get across the street.
Oh, very good. Who else? Very good. Good to have you both in there. Who else is east?
Whiskey 8, Papa Lima Alpha, still up in Lebanon, Tucker's Crossroads.
Yeah, good audio. Good. The signal's only about S6, but your audio is outrageously good.
Oh, very good. Well, you're about mid-scale on me here in Tucker's Crossroads, WHPLA.
Excellent. That's Philip and Tucker's Crossroads, Whiskey 8, Papa Lima Alpha in Wilson County, of course. Who else is east?
WY4G.
Oh, yeah, you sound great. You must still be here, Jeff.
Yeah, I am over kind of closer to I-40 right now, but I'm still in HT.
Well, you're not far from me because I'm only a quarter mile north of 40 and a quarter mile west of 171, which is Mount Juliet Road.
Well, we're pretty close by, I guess, but getting ready to head home here shortly. But I was able to, I want to check in, so I'm still in that area.
Very good. That's Jeff. He's on his HT closer to me now. Whiskey Yankee 4 Gulf. Yes, I had to say that correct. Who else is east or north?
Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November.
Kilo Delta 4 Golf. And you get my pender right here and I'll be all set. Kilo Delta 4. Hold on 1 second.
It's Danny.
Yeah, no, I know. I couldn't find my pen that works. Kilo Delta 4. Golf Oscar November, Danny. Yeah, you sound good, Danny. Your antenna's working great.
All righty. Thank you very much.
Yeah, very good. Who else is north?
WB0LF. Yelling over here, I think.
Hold on. Mark, hold on. You sound great, Mark. Sound as good as normal. Sound as good as 2 meters anyway.
Okay. Good for that.
Yeah, oddly, the S meter is only giving you about bumping up against S8, but still great signal. Though. Was that Chris? Was that you in there?
Yeah, there was KK5S. I heard him. He had no signal on that meter, but I could hear his voice.
Ah, really? Is that you still out there, Carrie?
Roger.
Oh, I got you in there. Very good. You sound. I can hear you just fine. Can you hear him, Chris?
Yeah. I didn't know if you could. He was checking in a few times, and people might have walked on him, so I didn't hear Mark, so I tried to fill him in there.
Ah, very good. Everybody's doing pretty good on 70 centimeters tonight. Carrie, how are you copying everybody else?
Mostly good.
Yeah, excellent. It's Kilo 5 Sierra Carrie over in Baird's Mill. Who else is east or north? East, north, or west?
TAW, David, and Madison.
Hey, you sound good, David. You really do. Are you copying people fairly well tonight?
I'm not hearing anybody, which is surprising me a little bit because I'm on a pretty good antenna. I'm just not hearing anybody else.
Well, I think I'm not going to say I know why, but this, for whatever reason, this perspective from you to me and you to east of me in Wilson County, because I hear you just fine, but it isn't even bumping the scale. It doesn't even show that you're there.
Really?
Doesn't have any, well, on the scale, on my S scale, there's no indication. On the waterfall, on the bottom, it does show a bump right in the middle, like a little tiny thing.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm getting you about a S8, although like I got an SWR light flashing on the radio here, which shouldn't be the case. The dual band antenna, so I don't know what's going on with it.
Well, we figured out something was wrong then, but again, your signal, your audio is just fine. I mean, your audio is no different than anybody else's on the net tonight. It might have been, well, it's not as strong as a couple of the people who are near me, but like I said, your audio is great. No signal shown at all on the S meter.
Oh, well, I guess I can live with it.
Well, I'll figure out that SWR problem. We'll go from there, okay?
Roger.
Anyway, that's November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskey. It's the reason we do the nets. We figure out what works and what doesn't work and why it doesn't work. We don't question it when it does work. Who else is north or west?
Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Anna.
Yep, sound great, Greg. You copying people okay?
Pretty good. I'm having, anyway, I'm having some sort of coax issue, but if I hold the coax just right, everything's fine, so we'll have to work that out.
Yeah, you got to hold your tongue, your mouth a certain way too,
It's just it's amazing that I figured that out in time to transmit the guy. It was grim there for a minute, so I'll have to reroute this and see what's going on. But anyway, yeah, most everybody that I can copy on 2 meter, I'm copying on the 70 centimeter, but as you said, no signal meter bumping.
Yep, I'm with you. No, that was Greg in Antioch, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo, with a three-handed operation, one hand on the coax and one hand on the radio and the other hand on the mic. Who else is? That's Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is be north or west?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
You're doing the same thing to me there, Jack. It shows a little bump on the scale if you were watching the video at all, but no showing on the S meter.
Yeah, it was the same for David in Madison. I didn't have him on my meter at all.
Isn't that interesting? That just shows to show you that there's such a big difference between 2 meters and 70 centimeters and how it how it gets across.
The people I can hear, I hear almost as well as 2 meters, but I couldn't hear east of Mount Juliet. Were
you able to hear Philip over there?
No.
That's amazing because he had a good, strong audio and a good signal, reasonably good signal.
No, it was, but everybody that I can hear sounds almost like 2 meters.
Yeah, no, it is amazing. And of course, you couldn't hear Carrie over there in Baird's Mill.
No, I did hear Carrie.
No kidding. You heard Carrie. That's funny. It is funny how that propagation works. I would have guessed you couldn't hear him.
I know I had a good signal on him. It's just crazy. The conditions are just nuts.
Yeah, well, that's how we figure stuff out, and that's how we figure out if we have problems, we figure out, because really 70 centimeters, we haven't done this in a while, and I think we've already got 13 seconds. So let me beat feet here. That was Jack, Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is west?
Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra,
Ah, very good. I got John, and there was a double, but we got John. Good signal. Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra, India Bravo. Who else is? I heard another station.
I was just saying, just wait till everybody gets their 220 megahertz equipment and their new antenna.
Yeah, I can't wait. We've already got enough nets. It's terrible. Who else? Anyway, you sounded good, John. How are you copying people? Okay.
I'm only hearing you.
Okay, very good. I got you. Who else is west?
KC4, TNQ.
Hey, how are you copying people tonight? On 70 centimeters, that is. KC4TNQ, that one. Charlie.
Okay, just want to make sure because I can only hear a few. I heard the one in Antioch, and I think I hear the one up north maybe 3 callers ago. I forget his name, but anyway, I can hear him real well, and I hear you, but on 2 meters you're S9 on me, and now you're S1 S2.
Yeah, it's amazing how 70 centimeters just doesn't cut it compared to 2 meters.
No, the audio was fine, but there was a couple of them that was breaking my squelch, but I couldn't make out what they were saying. But a quick question is, did you ever find out what your hum was that you had a couple of weeks ago?
No, I didn't. I quickly said I got hold of TVA, and I told them about it, and they're apparently working on it, and I seem to have a lot less problems recently. So maybe they're doing something I don't know about because they haven't told me if they've done anything.
Well, I don't hear it now, so I guess everything's good. So y'all have a good evening. KC14Q.
Yeah, very good. That's Charles, Kilo Charlie 4 Tango in November, Quebec, and Nashville. Who else is west? Anybody else west or south? Any place, anywhere? Who's ever left over? James, I thought you'd be in there. Yes, not. We had 31 check-ins on the 2 meters. We had 15 check-ins, unless somebody else wants to check in on 270 centimeters. Anybody else out there? All right, then we're going over to 10 meters, 28,415. And I don't know who else. If anybody, somebody will go over 2 meters and announce that on 415. Excuse me, 146,415. And I'm going to go over to 28,415 right now. All righty, that's where I'm going. K4P then. All right, it's K4PW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 28,415. Looking for check-ins from the east. Please come from the east. Please come down. Very good. We had Richard and Stephanie, Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo, and Kilo India 4 Sierra India Sierra Oscar Romeo. Who else is east? Was that you, Greg? Because it was really low.
Somebody else try again.
Yeah, try again, please, whoever that last one was. I'm not copying anything. Is anybody copying that station?
Might have been TX.
It might have been. Anyway, anybody else east? Up to the north, please come down.
Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November.
Hey, Danny, you sound good. You got a nice audio, too.
All right, thank you.
Very good. That's Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar November, Danny in West Gallatin. Who else is north? Hey, you must be. Are you out in the car or are you at the house now there, Hayes?
I was never in the car on 10 meters. I'm in the house, and I'm running an Antron 99.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about your Antron 99. You sound good. It's yeah, you got a good strong signal. At least hearing wise, I can. I don't know how good it is audio. I mean, on the scale, I wasn't looking. But anyway, that was Hayes in Hendersonville, November 8, November Hotel Tango. Who else is north? Anybody else north or west?
KG4 ILB, Jack and Donaldson.
Hey, Jack, are you copying people very well?
Yeah, pretty well.
Oh, yeah, just curious. It all sounds good so far. I was wondering who. I think that other station was DX or so. It just wasn't from around here, I don't think.
I did not hear Richard and Stephanie.
No, that was a little weak, but I could hear them. But of course, he's just northeast of me about, I don't know, 10, 12 miles, I think.
Well, thanks for doing what you do, Paul. I'll let you get back to it.
Very good. That was Kilo Gulf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack, and Donaldson. Who else is west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, if you just write me down earlier.
Yeah, very good. No, I didn't, because I don't like to I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch. No, it's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. How are you copying people tonight there, Greg?
Thank you. I didn't copy the couple.
Yeah, no big deal. I mean, it's the conditions are a little weak tonight, I would say. But anyway, that was Greg and Antioch, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west?
Kilo Charlie 4 Tango, November, Quebec.
Oh, very good. Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec. You've got a good signal.
Well, thank you. I can hear most everybody. Heard the last two there, and they hear you pretty well. You might have 5 of them.
Yeah, very good. No, you sound real good, Charles. And you should copy pretty everybody else pretty much, right?
Yeah, everybody, they're pretty low, but I can hear them.
Yeah, very good. And that was Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec in Nashville. Who else is west? West or south? West, south, or anywhere? Anybody copying stations I can't hear? All righty, I think we'll close it out. We had a grand total of, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we had a grand total of 8 stations tonight on 10 meters. Appreciate everybody being there, and I will close the net. Have a great night. K4, unless there's somebody else, let me know now. Got nothing. K4PW, closing that. Appreciate everybody who participated.